G'day guys and welcome back to AdosTheGreat YouTube channel. Now guys, when this video goes up, we will be just a few hours away from the Rugby League World Cup Grand Final. Now what I'm doing in this video is we see the Maori versus the Indigenous All-Stars at the start of every rugby league season, every NRL season. That's basically what kicks us off. That's that's the game that gets us hyped up for the new season. But what I thought is, why not at the end of the season put together another All-Stars game, one to send us out, finish the year off strong. And that idea is a Pacific Island All-Stars versus a Anzac All-Stars. Now, the Pacific Island All-Stars will be made up of like Fijian players, Samoan players, and Tongan players, whereas obviously the Anzac All-Stars will be made up of Australia and New Zealand players. So, yeah, look, I'm not going to lie, the Anzac squad is the one I've put together is mainly Australia and New Zealand players, but is mainly Australia players with a few New Zealand players in there. But I feel like the Pacific Island one is a good mix of all the three nations there. Now, obviously, there are more nations in the Pacific Island sort of area. That there are a lot more nations. Like, I guess you could even kind of say Papua New Guinea is a part of that as well. But I've only included Fiji, Samoa, and Tonga in this one. If you guys want me to, I will do another one with Papua New Guinea players. But yeah, so this is the teams I have put together. So we'll talk first about the Anzac squads. So the Australia and New Zealand All-Stars will see James Tedesco at fullback, Valentine Holmes and Josh Adokar on the wings. In the centres, Joey Manu and Latrell Mitchell. At 5'8", Cameron Munster and halfback Nathan Cleary. In the front row, Tino Fa'asua Malawi and James Fisher-Harris. At dummy half, I've gone Harry Grant. In the second row, I've got Cameron Murray and Isaiah Papali'i with Isaiah Yeo at lock. And the interchange bench, I've gone Brandon Smith, Joe Tarpanay, Regan Campbell-Gillard and Angus Crichton. Now, I thought Joey Manu, he had to be in there. He's arguably one of the best players in the world at the moment. He won the Golden Boot Award for, I think that's what they call, for the best player in the world. Yeah, I think he's definitely got to be in there. I think most of it speaks for itself. The only other controversy is no Ben Hunt. I've gone with the old Melbourne Storm sort of crew with Harry Grant starting, Brandon Smith coming off the bench. Brandon Smith can play a number of positions, including lock and dummy half. So I thought, he'd be a very valuable player to have in that squad. So unfortunately, Ben Hunt does miss out, but yeah, I think this is a pretty good squad. Let me know what changes you'd make. I think there's, you could argue Jordan Rapana comes in on one wing. Look, I think Nathan Cleary's got to be there, but you could also make an argument for Dylan Brown over Cameron Munster. Front rowers, you could make an argument for them, but I think for the most part, this is a pretty solid squad. Do let me know what you guys would change in the comments. All right, for the Pacific Island squad, I've gone with basically an all Samoan backline except for one player. So for the Pacific Islands All-Stars, I've gone Joseph Swali'i, Brian To'o, Tim Laffey, Stephen Crichton, Micah Sevo, Jerome Luai, and Anthony Milford. So that fullback seven is all Samoa except Micah Sevo. I think that speaks for themselves. Samoa have been outstanding in this World Cup, minus the first game. And yeah, look, I could have put Lola here at halfback, but I think Milford's definitely stood up and shown that he can, he can own it at the on the big stage. So I'd be happy to see him in there. For the forwards, I've gone Josh Papali'i, Apisai Coruscant, Junior Bolo, Viliami Kikau, Keon Kaloa Matangi, Jason Taumalolo, Felice Kafusi, Adam Fanua Blake, David Fafita, and Saliva Havili off the bench. Forwards, let's talk a bit about them. Look, I think having a mix of Samoan and Fijian plays in the first four I think that's perfectly fine. You could make an argument that we see Fanua Blake start over Josh Papali'i because that's what Samoa have been doing, is starting Royce Hunt over Papali'i, but I think he needs to be there. Junior Barlow obviously needs to be there. Apisai Coruscant is arguably the best dummy half in the Pacific nations. If I was to have Papua New Guinea in here, I'd definitely have I was going to say Gebi, Epape in here somewhere, probably on the bench for Havili. Who else have we got? Viliami Kickout, obviously another player that speaks for himself. However, you could move him to the bench and have Kaufusi start. Definitely a possibility. I've got to have Keon Kolon Matangi there. I think he's been outstanding in this World Cup as well. Jason Taumalolo for lock, arguably the best lock between the three nations. The bench, so Saliva Havili will be the utility, covering a big range of positions in that forward pack. If, Curacao gets tired, needs a break, Havili can come on. If Tamalolo gets tired, needs a break, Havili can come on. Like he covers a lot of positions there. I think he's definitely needed there. Felice Kafusi, obviously a good player, definitely should be in the team somewhere. Adam Fanua Blake, as I stated before, he could start in place of Papali'i, but I've gone Papali'i to start. And then David Fafita, I had to get him in the team somewhere as well. So, guys, let me know the changes you would make to this team. I think it's pretty good, but obviously there will be people out there that want their favourite players in. So do let me know what changes you'd make. And do you think this is a concept that could work, or do you not? I'd love to hear from you guys. But that is going to wrap it up from me. Thank you all so much for tuning in. And as always, my friends, I will see you in the next one. Enjoy the footy and don't forget to subscribe. Thanks, guys.